No two sports have a closer relationship than track and field and football. So much so that about 60% of high school All-American football players have also competed on the track. But the real reason for that is because track and field can develop something in a football player that no other sport can. Because when you are alone, lined up against everyone else, you get to prove just how much of a beast you actually are. And some athletes are just a little bit better at turning on beast mode than others. I witnessed firsthand how my track and field teammate Jerome Rudolph could start at running back for our college football team and then walk onto the track and break the conference meet record in the 100-meter dash. In fact, Grant Holloway and Arian Knighton were amazing football prospects who eventually chose to put their focus only on the track and outside of D1 entirely. Many of the best sprinters, hurdlers, and jumpers are also competing on the gridiron. But most NFL players chose to walk away from the track before we ever really got a glimpse of what they were truly capable of. So here are the best track athletes to play in the NFL in this generation. Some names that you might recognize and others you've likely forgotten, because although we get to see them suit up on Sundays, they all really stood out on the track. And remember, this list is in no particular order, but you can let me know who you think is the best in the comments, because I try to read them all. Tyreek Hill is arguably the greatest wide receiver in the NFL right now, or at least that's what Stephen A. Smith wants us to think. But before he was a Super Bowl champion and a Pro Bowler, he dominated on the track at the high school and the college level. As a high school senior, he ran 20.14 in the outdoor 200-meter dash. That is the fastest time in the entire nation. And at the junior college level, he made it to the JUCO championship final in the 100 and only lost to one man, and that was Andre DeGrasse, who's an Olympic medalist right now. He eventually ran for Oklahoma State in Division I and made the NCAA Indoor Championship final in the 200-meter dash. He didn't really run track after that, so we'll never actually know just how good Tyreek Hill could have been in track and field. But common sense will tell you, if he ever focused on track 100%, he probably could have become one of the greats. But DK Metcalf is also in the conversation as one of the league's greatest receivers, yet his talent on the track is undeniable. He was a 46-foot triple jumper and a sub-15 110 hurdler in high school, who chose not to run track at all in college. But after going 4.33 in the 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine, years later, he chose to run a track race with the pros in the 100-meter dash. And in a professional USATF event, he ran 10.36 seconds, which is very legitimate sprinting and good enough to win a conference championship somewhere in D1 right now. So yeah, he's got the juice. Anthony Schwartz, however, never took track seriously after high school, which is a shame, because before he was a wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, he was America's fastest 100-meter runner in both 2017 and 2018. He ran a PR of 10.09 seconds and only competed a little bit at Auburn in college. He never broke 10.2 while he was there, but it is clear that he never really scratched the surface of what was clearly a world-class talent. But Trindon Holliday was one of the shortest NFL players in the league's history, so of course he had to be very fast to pull that off. He played 5 full seasons in the NFL, finishing off in 2015 after becoming a 6th-round pick from LSU. And he's a legend for the Tigers, because he became an NCAA champion in the 100-meter dash and ran 10 flat, wind legal, to do it. Yet CJ Spiller was actually a little bit taller and survived a little bit longer in the NFL and became a Pro Bowler with the Buffalo Bills. He played 7 seasons through 2017, but he competed in college for Clemson, where he made the NCAA championships in the 60-meter dash and the 100 and ran as fast as 10.22 seconds to get there. His Clemson teammate was Jacoby Ford, who only lasted 5 seasons in the league, but he dominated on the track, winning an NCAA indoor championship in the 60-meter dash. That was in 2009. And needless to say, he was a threat in the 100, because he made the NCAA championship final and ran as fast as 10.01 seconds. For the record, the man he lost to was Trindon Holliday. And believe it or not, football players don't just do the short sprints, because Kendall Sheffield is one of the most unique talents of them all. He was drafted by the Falcons in 2019 and most recently played for the Texans. But when he was in high school, he ran the fastest 110 hurdle time in the entire nation as a senior. And I really can't make this up. He never ran the hurdles in college. Not even once. He actually bounced around to 3 schools before running the 60-meter dash at Ohio State. And he didn't just compete. He finished 2nd overall that year in the Big Ten. So he probably could have been a generational hurdler, or even a legitimate sprinter if he really wanted to. And Tony Brown was also the fastest high school hurdler 1 full decade ago. He ran 13:38 back then, and years later, he's worked his way up from an undrafted player to a defensive back for the Indianapolis Colts. But unlike Kendall, he actually took track seriously in college. He competed his entire career for Alabama. He even made the NCAA championship final in the 110 hurdles, and in the open 100, eventually ran 10.12 seconds, wind legal. Interestingly enough, Jeff Demps was also undrafted out of Florida, but he still survived 3 seasons in the NFL. But he was always way better on the track. In high school, he didn't just run the fastest 100 in the nation, he ran the fastest high school 100 at that time in history. Back then, he ran 10:01 and later won an indoor championship at the NCAAs in the 60s. He was a track All-American quite a few times, but he later became an Olympian as a 4x1 relay member. And regardless, that still counts as far as I'm concerned. But he doesn't have anything on Marquise Goodwin, because he stands out as not just a solid NFL player, but a true track and field star. He survived a decade in the NFL as a wide receiver and competed in track and football at the University of Texas. But he long jumps over 27 feet. He won 2 NCAA championships and a USA Outdoor Championship. And on top of that, he's an Olympian in 2012. All of that being said, he's still very fast, because he even broke 6'7" in the 60-meter dash. But that shouldn't be surprising, because his 40-yard dash is still top 10 in history. The most accomplished track athlete on this list has to be Devon Allen. He only played in the NFL in the preseason for the Philadelphia Eagles, but that's after playing football for the Oregon Ducks. But on the track, he's the 3rd fastest 110 hurdler in history and a 2-time Olympic finalist. And as far as championships go, he's won 6 of them in the NCAA and the USA as a pro. Track and field is a sport where if you're not first, you might as well be an extra in an action movie. But no sport is perhaps as action-packed as football is in the NFL. The players on this list are proof that if you can show yourself as one of the best track athletes at whatever level you're competing at, you likely have what it takes to make it to the league. And if you are a track and field coach at the high school or the college level, the best friend you can ever hope to make is the head coach of the football team. I'm Coach Rob, and thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want to see more content like this, then please like and subscribe.